A confident and assertive Anthony Albanese has given an exclusive interview to The Australian in which he declares he will increase defence spending. He won't use new taxes to fund it, and he will not be dictated on these terms by Donald Trump. The Prime Minister has decided that he will grab the agenda on defence and security, on the issue of the economy, and as well on the issue of dealing with President Trump's tariff wars, relations with China, and relations with the region. On the defence issue, the Prime Minister has declared that he will increase defence spending, and this is after the coalition has promised to spend more than Labor's 2.3% of GDP, and he has said he will do it, but he won't do it according to some magic number, particularly a magic number dictated by US President Trump. He said he will spend the money, more money on defence, but spend it where it is needed and ensure that what Australia gets is what it needs in defence. On the economic side, in the face of IMF reports warning of a global recession and of the danger of the cut in growth in Australia, the Prime Minister has said he will not increase or create new taxes if he is elected on May 3. He has said no new taxes, and previously he's ruled out those taxes changes that cost Bill Shorten so dearly in the 2019 election of changes to negative gearing and changes to capital gains tax. Anthony Albanese tells The Australian that he's been in government for 3 years. If he wanted to make those changes to tax, he would have already, and he's not, and there are no plans for new taxes after the election if he is elected. Not only does he say he'll serve the full term to 2028, but he will also visit Washington DC soon. But this is all part of the Prime Minister's confident projection that he is no longer facing just an election and maybe win minority government, but that he is confident of winning majority government, repudiating any idea that he has to do a deal with the Greens, although he's actually given the Greens preferences in his own seat to a Greens candidate who actually blockaded his personal electorate office in Marrickville. But no, he says as far as the Greens are concerned, there'll be no deal even if there is a minority government. Some of the other issues that he has looked at is the question of regional security. He's very concerned about reconnecting with the regions, our neighbours, ASEAN, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, China, who are all facing the tariff Trump war. He rejects any idea that we should line up with the US and damage China further, because it is not in Australia's economic or trade interest. He sees as the way through for improved economic conditions to do what he says they have already been doing. Diversify on trade, go to India, build trade with the European Union. The region has also, of course, played a large role in our relations with Indonesia, with the suggestion that the Russians wanted to base long-range bombers only 1,300 kilometres from Darwin on Indonesian property just north of Papua. Now, he says, he's previously said, it was Russian propaganda. But in the interview with The Australian, he's conceded that his advice was that there was an offer, reportedly, to put the bombers into the space station, the satellite launch station on Biak Island, but said it was designed by the Russian ambassador to cause trouble, and he'd be surprised if there wasn't any Russian ambassador at the moment trying to cause trouble and fill the vacuum being left by the US in the Pacific. What he wants to do is learn the lesson from the United States presidential election. Not a Trump trick, but in fact, the losing Democrat problem. That what the Democrats did was lose connection with blue-collar workers. Anthony Albanese tells the Australian he thinks this is a major problem for centre-left and parties around the world. Anthony Albanese wants to reach out to aspirational Labor voters, to tradies and truckies, sole traders. These are the people that Peter Dutton has been directly appealing to. These are the people that Anthony Albanese said he wants to reconnect with and shift the Labor Party so that one of his aims is to lift the primary vote of the Labor Party, which is, of course, at record low levels, although preferences, including preferences from the Greens, are keeping him in government. Of course, if these predictions, these forecasts, expectations from Anthony Albanese do not come to fore, if he doesn't win, even if it is a minority, it will be seen as a greater loss, and he will be seen not as being underestimated, but as being overestimated.